All right, Browns lose. What were we expecting, honestly? This might be worse than last year, honestly. I came in at halftime, we're probably going to lose, but it's whatever. And that second half was probably one of the worst offensive performances we've seen since the Cincinnati game when Deshaun Watson tore his Achilles. Like, before Winston got in that year. I have been I'm so aggravated that I can't even put this into words. But, it's just, I have been the person that everyone goes to as soon as the Browns lose a game. It's all Kevin's fault. It's Stefanski's fault. Oh, your boy lost us the game, blah, 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 blah. And I have tucked that all in the chin because here's my thing. If the Browns want to create a winning culture, you have to have consistency. But the consistency right now is the Browns can't get over double digits. And when you do, it's 10 points. The Browns have not had a game yet this year, and it's week 5 or week 6 now, that we have not gotten over 15 points. Now, you got lucky against the Packers in a game you probably should have lost anyways. And, you live on the margins. That's what everyone expected. If you thought the Browns were going to come out this year and make the playoffs and make a run, you're delusional. You're delusional. You are a delusional Browns fan. And I pride myself on being a Browns fan that is, if not anything, is going to call it like I see it. I'm not going to have any rose-tinted glasses or anything like that. I'm going to call it like I see it. And I knew that the Browns were probably not going to have... I predicted it. I think I predicted the Browns to have 6 wins, maybe. I think 6-11, I think. I predict them to go to in my predictions. But I didn't expect it to be this bad. I thought, if Joe Flacco was going to get benched, he'd at least give us a few games where he would look like the old Joe Flacco. That didn't happen. In fact, he looks like a guy that should be sitting on his couch, and the Bengals are welcome to have him. Cool. All right, we get Dylan Gabriel in there. And Dylan Gabriel looks okay for a system quarterback. But you can't rely on a system quarterback. You can't do it. You can rely on them for, third downs and fourth down conversions sometimes when you got to have it. You can't expect him to throw the ball out there 30 to 40 times a game and expect good things to happen. And when you have a receiver like Jerry Jeudy who can't catch a football when it's right there in his hands, on top of giving up stupid unsportsmanlike penalties in the first half, should have talked about that in my halftime, completely forgot about it. But, the fact that this is the game every year where something goes wrong, and I said this in my prediction videos a few months ago, I'm not going to predict the Browns to win in Pittsburgh until it happens. Will it? It could not even happen in my lifetime. I've gone 20 years without a Browns win in Pittsburgh, that in the regular season, that is, because we got lucky in the playoffs and we caught them when they were looking ahead in 2020, which is great. All-time Browns win, and we're probably not going to have another one in my lifetime like that. So, I don't get it. It's just... I have been the punching bag of people that wanted to fire Kevin Stefanski all year this year, and I don't see how I can defend it anymore. Is this game fully on Kevin Stefanski? No. Could have there been issues on this team right now that could have been plugged, like the offensive line and Kevin Stefanski thinking that this is 2020 again and things in 2020 that are going to work? You say all year, all offseason, that you're going to go back to the 2020 style of offense. These people aren't the 2020 players! Jack Conklin can't stay healthy to save his life. Joe Bitonio should have probably retired last year but didn't want to go out, so now he's going to go out even worse. He's going to probably be in a walker in the next 5 years. Last year with Jed Wills, when we thought we had somewhat of a tackle situation, he decides he doesn't even want to play football anymore, so he's gone. And DeJuan Jones is so big and just a big, I don't want to say oaf, but he's just so freaking big that, when teams are going to chop block you on the offensive line, when a defender comes and chop blocks you, you have immediate knee problems. His career is probably over at this point, and he's only he's still maybe in his late 20s, I think. It's just, Ethan Posick is a bum. Our tackles are playing musical chairs yet again. Cam Robinson is gone. He's probably done. He was walking on the sideline, but Kevin Stefanski will probably say, well, we'll get an MRI tomorrow, and it'll come out that he's got a torn Achilles or torn ACL or whatever. And he's out for the rest of the year, which means Cornelius Lucas is going to be back in, which he leads in QB sacks. He played 5 games and gave up 23 pressures or something like that, which was the most in the NFL by a margin of 10. So he'll be back in the lineup next week. We play the Dolphins, who aren't great, but they just beat the Colts, I think it was, or lost to the Colts by a field goal, or beat them by a field goal, whatever it was. And they scored 30 points on them. The Browns can't get over 15. They can barely get over 10. Yet again, it's another year of the Browns completely thinking that they're smart enough to they think that they are smarter than they are. And I love Andrew Berry. Andrew Berry just produced one of the greatest draft classes we've ever seen in Browns history. But that can only do so much. When you don't address problems on the offensive line, you don't address problems in corners, and then you have the guy that we just traded for Greg Newsome, who wasn't even that great anyways. He was okay. He was a decent corner, but if you make him move laterally, you're gonna burn him. So now we have a corner that gets beat vertically, and he gets picked on all day by DK Metcalf, all day by Aaron Rodgers, and then we got to watch him in his first game as a Brown give up the touchdown, give up the pass interference calls, have a ball completely hit his back, and he's just sitting there oh. And then we got Isaiah Bond, who did pretty good today, gets a ball, quick slants, it's zero blitz, there's no safety help. You got to look for the football if you're a receiver, do you not? No, it hits him right off his head. If he turns his head a little bit, the ball probably gets stuck in between the helmet and the face mask. And it's ridiculous. Now, did I think the Browns were going to win this football game? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I thought you would get a little bit, you would come back just a tiny bit, show a little bit of fight. Myles Garrett, I think, had 1 tackle today. Where was he? Then the Steelers fans are chanting TJ Watt when TJ Watt didn't even play most of the fourth quarter anyways, because why did he? Why did he need to? It's a 14-point game. Might as well be a 30-point game. Browns did not crack the end zone once today. Go for it on 4th down. Dylan Gabriel cannot do that. He can't, he is a system quarterback. He is Brock Purdy. He's Daniel Jones. He's not even Jordan Love. He's not, he is a Zach Wilson type quarterback if Zach Wilson was on a competent team. Probably a little bit better, but you get my point. This is not a guy coming out of the draft. This is not, a Jaden Daniels type quarterback. He's not a CJ Stroud type quarterback, even though CJ Stroud has kind of fallen off this year and a little bit last year. But that without an offensive line, how can you trust that to not get hit? So I get that. But he's not a Jalen Daniels. He's not a guy that can immediately raise the ceiling and the floor of your team like Jalen Daniels did last year. It's so frustrating to watch this team whose defense, you understand there's going to be a cool down point. There's going to be a cool down here. But for the cool down to come so quick and so just instant, it felt like during the Vikings game last week, it felt like it was instant. It was an instant in the second half, or whenever Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison started going, it just felt like the Browns had no answer for it. And then it carries over into a game where the tackle on Pittsburgh is giving up the most sacks in the NFL, or at least the most sacks on the team at the very least. I'm pretty sure they said most sacks in the NFL, but I'm not really positive. and we get 0 sacks on him. 0. We held TJ Watt to, I think, maybe 3 or 4 quarterback pressures and maybe a sack. That's it. And that sack came in, I think, in the first half. He might have gotten one in like the third and fourth quarter when I really wasn't paying attention. The game was already over. But we have multiple people going down with injuries because now they're scared to get hit. Juan Thornhill, the guy that we just let walk, almost had a pick on us. I don't know. The thing is, I get that people want to say, oh, we should have never gotten rid of Baker, blah, 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 blah. The Browns traded Baker Mayfield for Deshaun Watson, Jacoby Brissett, et cetera, et cetera. Baker Mayfield probably wasn't going to be the quarterback that he is now in Cleveland. He needed that. And for people to say that the Browns could have had a franchise guy, Baker Mayfield was never going to be a franchise guy. In Cleveland, I mean, not in Tampa Bay. He's honestly even a system quarterback in Tampa Bay. He is on the verge of being a franchise guy, I think. He's on that little, like, the top end of a system quarterback, which is fine. Like, he is very successful right now. And the Browns only have 1 win, and he is on the top of the NFC right now. So, Browns, I don't even, they play the Dolphins next week, so we'll see. I highly doubt that the Browns have got to get lucky. They have to get lucky. The defense has got to create some turnovers. They got to have maybe like a defensive touchdown or something. And that's how the Browns are going to win games. They got to play opportunistic football. But unfortunately, the offense, that is, not we, but the offense, are giving up the opportunities rather than capitalizing on the opportunities that other teams are giving us. For example, the pass interference call on the 3-yard line. For whatever reason, Kevin Stefanski throws the football on first down. That's fine. Dylan Gabriel gets it out. But then he throws it again, and he gets sacked. I don't know why we're not handing the football off to Quinshon Judkins there at all. I get the run game wasn't working, but that's better than a 15-yard sack. And then they throw it again. Dylan Gabriel gets sacked again, I'm pretty sure. Cincinnati just picked off Jordan Love, by the way. And I don't get it. I don't. The fact that the Browns are this bad when we went all in on a quarterback that wasn't very good in Deshaun Watson. He plays so bad that his own body gives up on him, not once but twice. And it's ridiculous. The Browns, I've been a Browns fan for a long time, for basically the majority of my life. But I don't think I've ever been this frustrated with a Browns team that, if you were being honest with yourself, was not going to be very good this year. But I think you expected a little bit more of a fight, I think. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I expected a little bit more out of the Browns, especially with the rookie class that came in, and it shows so much promise. You would think that the Browns veterans would kind of rally along with them. But it looks like, other than Myles Garrett, of course, it looks like they're not even trying. Honestly, and that's the thing I fear. If you fire Kevin Stefanski and Kevin Stefanski goes to another job and succeeds, that's yet another opportunity the Browns missed. And there's going to be even more stuff that's going to come out about how the Browns are absolutely cursed, which honestly is probably true. But, you only get one LeBron in your lifetime. And for us, luckily we had him not once but twice. I don't know. I'm just going to go sit somewhere dark and watch the 2016 finals again. I don't even know. Go Dogs.